welcome to Live Aligned Pilates. I'm Liv and today we have a Pilates stretch and flow which is suitable for when you have PMS and you're early on in your cycle, if you are unwell or recovering from illness, or if you are generally low in energy and fatigued. Now it goes without saying, rest is first and foremost the most important thing to recover your body, but if you do have an inkling of energy and desire to move your body, this class will be perfect. Feel free to start the class if you need to pause at any moment, if you need to close the laptop down and revisit the class when you are feeling a little bit better. The class will be here whenever you are ready, so take your time, look after yourself, and let's get started. So we are going to start with our feet nice and wide here, hands on the hips, and we're circling our hips to the left, all the way back, over to the right and forward. So just starting to loosen any tension that we're feeling through our low belly, through our back, our hips, hamstrings, hip flexors. Easing ourselves into movement here. We focus on deep, slow breaths. Let's do one more in this direction. Lovely, and just changing directions of those hip circles, going over to the right, all the way around to the back, to the left, and pressing the hips to the front. Always adding in any extra movements that you feel like your body is calling for as well. Let's do one more in this direction. Lovely, and standing with your feet hip distance apart, parallel, arms relaxing down by the side, take a nice deep breath in, and on your exhale, let's roll down, tucking the chin towards the chest, rounding your shoulders forward, dropping your head heavy, really slowly peeling yourself down into your forward folds. Take a nice deep inhale at the bottom, exhale to roll yourself up, re-stacking your spine, one vertebra at a time. Leave your shoulders, your neck, and the head till the very last moment. Shrug the shoulders at the top once you get there. Let's do two more like this. Inhale and exhale, chin to chest, rounding forward. Now this one may not be suitable if you are congested, if you have some sinus things going on. So you can just skip these roll downs if you need to. And let's do one more. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll down. As much of a bend through your knees as you need to. And then roll yourself all the way up. Lovely. Step your feet out a little wider than hip distance apart and turn your toes out on a diagonal. Come into a yogi squat, bending your knees, sending your hips down low to the floor, pressing your elbows in towards your knees, and just rocking your hips side to side. Now you can support yourself by placing cushions under your sit bones or blocks. You could have your hands out in front of you. And just inhale and exhale. Every inhale, you send that breath into the tight areas through your hips and your low back. And every exhale, you release the tension through your low belly, through any areas that are feeling tension and tightness. Just a few more breaths here. Lovely, and then just bring your hands forward to walk out into a kneeling tabletop position. Having your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, let's take our cat and cow. Inhale to arch through the back, looking up to the sky. Exhale to round, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Keep moving through this at your own pace. Finding your neutral spine, start to twist the body side to side. One more to each side. And then find your center once again. Flexing your right foot, keeping your right knee bent, we take a really slow lift of our leg up towards the ceiling and lower back down. So we're just gently lifting our core up here. And as we use our hamstring and our glute to lift the leg, we feel a nice stretch through the hip flexor and the quad, so the front of the leg. Any strength-based exercises here today, we're just taking slowly and we're only doing a low amount of reps, so we won't be in any exercise for too long. Let's now circle this knee, so lift the leg up, open the knee, circle around and down, and we'll just do 4 more in this direction. 3, 2, 1, and just reversing that leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And just stepping your leg out to the side, plant the foot firmly into the floor. Keep the knee nice and straight, and we'll just rock our weight back towards the heel and forward over the hands. Just stretching through the inner thigh here up into the hips. If we've been sitting or lying down for a while, this is a really good sequence to open up the hips and glutes if they're feeling tight. Perfect. Let's bring this right leg all the way around to the front and come into a prone pigeon stretch, lowering the knee and the shin down, keeping your back leg extended long. Sitting up tall for a breath or two, trying to relax your shoulders down. Feel free to use a cushion under your glute to support yourself here. And option to come into a forward fold over your front leg. And just remember, we're not pushing anything today. We are just really easing our body into some movement. So you might not come down as low as you usually do into this stretch, and that is totally okay. Give your body some grace and let it heal. Try and relax the tension through the shoulders, the neck, down the back into the hips and the glutes. Lovely. Press yourself back up onto your hands and then just bring this front knee back. Let's come back into our cat and cow stretch. Arch, round. Sync up your breath with your movement. And just one more here. Perfect. Finding your neutral spine, just turning around so that you can mirror me, and pressing the heel up to the sky, lower it down, lift and lower. Don't worry or focus too much on really tensing and tightening through the core like we usually do in this exercise. Just allow it to feel more of a stretch through the front of the thigh and a gentle engagement through the glute and hamstring. One more here. And we start to circle the knee out, around, and down. Really work into our hip mobility if we have been feeling stagnant throughout our illness or the first few days of our cycle. Good, and then just reversing those knee circles. Perfect, and we'll just do one more of those. Now let's step the leg out to the side, plant the foot firmly down into the floor, keeping that leg nice and straight, and just rocking the weight of your body back to the heel, and then forward over your hands. Everyone's bodies are built differently. Everyone holds tension in similar but different areas. So you might feel this through your inner thighs, maybe your hip flexors more, maybe even your hamstring or your low back. So just take it as it is today without any judgment. Perfect, and then we'll come back into the hands and just bring this leg all the way across to the front of your mat, moving into your prone pigeon stretch. Back leg stays extended. Try to relax these shoulders down. Nice deep breaths here. Noticing that when you are upright, you're feeling a really deep stretch through your hip flexor. And then when you come into your forward fold, when and if you do, you feel that stretch deepen through your glute of the bent knee. And just staying at that edge of your stretches where you can still relax into it and you don't feel like you're gripping or pushing or trying to really hold yourself in the position. Last deep breath in and exhale, release. Press yourself all the way up and come into a child's pose. Stretch with your knees wide, feet touching at the back. Rest your hips heavy towards your heels, reaching your arms forward. Rest your forehead on the mat. Allow the floor to support the weight of your body and your head. And take deep breaths at your own pace, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good, one more breath in. And as you exhale, bring yourself all the way up. Perfect. So we'll get into a bit more of a dynamic flow with this side series. Coming into a mermaid sit position. Right knee bends behind, left knee bends in front. Sitting up as tall as you can. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Float your left arm up and over. A lovely stretch through the side of your body. And then we windmill over to rest our elbow and forearm down onto the mat. Extend your right leg long. Let's take 3 circles, little circles. 3, 2, 1, and then rebend your right knee. Come back into your side bend. Back over onto the elbow and forearm. Extend this right leg. Circle for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, place it down, big stretch up and over. So we're just getting all the joints moving, bit of blood flow through the system. Hopefully get some endorphins pumping and start to feel a little bit better throughout our body and our mood and emotional state as well. That's it. Don't feel like you have to keep up with my pace, or if you felt like moving a little bit quicker, you could do that as well. You know what's best for you. Good job. Let's just do one more here. Lovely. We will come back up into that mermaid position. Instead of bending over to the side, we're going to walk the hands back and rest down onto our elbows, coming into our hip flexor stretch. This can be quite intense, so you might even just be resting back on your hands, which is totally fine. Let's hold this just for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way up. Let's just do a quick little upper body sequence before we do the other side. So find your hands and knees. Shift those knees back and lower your hips forward. We take a really slow lower to the floor. Bring the chest all the way down and just lift the hands, squeezing through the back. You'll then press the hands into the floor and slowly press yourself back up. That's it. Come all the way down. Squeeze the back. Press into the floor, push away. And we'll just do 3 more, and this may be the most intense exercise that we do today. And if you're not feeling up to it, just do 1 rep, or even just lie on the floor and take a little reset. We lower down 1 last time, squeeze the back, rest the hands onto the mat and the elbows and the forearms as well. And then just bend your knees and gently windscreen wiper your legs side to side. Feel free to rest your forehead on the floor or on the backs of your hands. Okay, let's press into a narrow child's pose. Bring your legs to touch. Press yourself up and sit your hips back towards your heels, reaching your arms back towards your feet and resting the top of your head on the mat, allowing the shoulders to round forward. Here for 3, 2, 1, and bring yourself all the way up. So we come on down. Bend our left knee behind, right knee in front. Take your mermaid stretch with your left arm pressing down and your right arm reaching up and overhead. Enjoy that side bend and then bring yourself all the way down onto your elbow and forearm. Extend your top leg, circle it for 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Press yourself up, big side bend. Beautiful, and we just keep going with this combo at our own personal pace. Just tuning into some gratitude for our bodies, for doing their very best to heal us when we're feeling unwell, and gratitude that you are feeling slightly better, a little bit better, enough to attempt to do a class, even if you have stopped a lot of the way, or if you feel like you need to pause this video and revisit it another time. Just still congratulating yourself for doing what is right for you and your recovery. All right, we just do 1 more here. And then we're coming up. Instead of side bending, we're leaning back into our hip flexor stretch. Pressing our hips down. Remember, you can be up on your hands if you prefer. Here for another 3, 2, 1, and press yourself up. Good job. We're coming down to lie onto our backs now. So bring yourself all the way down. Have your knees bent with your feet flat. Relax your arms by the side, open up through the chest. Just coming into your pelvic tilts, tucking the tailbone under, pressing your back into the mat, and then releasing from that position, finding your natural arch through your back. So you can rest your hands on your hip bones for a little bit of feedback, and you'll feel your pubic bone tilt towards your belly button as you press the back down, and then you'll find that pubic bone to return back to parallel to the ceiling as you find that natural arch. If we're in our early days of our cycle, we can hold a lot of tension through our low back, hips and pelvis. And this can be a really nice, gentle way to massage through those areas, especially the low back, using the floor as pressure as you tuck and release. And don't worry about getting too technical. Do whatever feels right for you. Here for another 3, 2, 1, and just settle into wherever feels comfortable for your body. Relax your arms by your side. Let's roll our hips up into a glute bridge, keeping our tailbone tucked, and roll down, pressing through the spine until our tailbone touches the mat. And just 4 more like this, nice and simple, rolling up, rolling down. Feeling an opening and a release through our lower belly, our hips and our quads as we lift up. That's it. 2 more here. And last one. Rolling down, walking your feet out as wide as your mat and taking a windscreen wiper motion. Rocking your knees side to side. Perfect. Let's step our feet back into hip distance apart and extend our right leg to the ceiling. Reach the arms towards the ceiling as well, and see if you can bring your leg towards your hands, taking a stretch down the back of your right leg. We then release the leg, lower the arms and the leg down towards the mat, and lift back up into that hamstring stretch, gently drawing the leg towards your chest. Release, lower, lift and stretch. You can have a soft bend through your right knee if that feels better. And last one. Keep a hold of your right leg, pointing and flexing through your right foot. Option to slide this left leg along the mat as well. Take a few circles for your ankle and reverse. And then tuck your knee in towards your chest and take a supine twist, bringing that knee across the body. You can open your right arm as well out to the side if you like, looking towards your hand. Twists are wonderful for when you have been feeling unwell. If you're feeling tight through your chest and your thoracic area, this should feel like a really lovely release. We could travel down into your lower back and into your hips, which is also a wonderful spot to focus on. Coming back to the center when you're ready, and then just placing that right foot down onto the floor with the knee staying bent. reaching your arms towards the ceiling. And as you lift your left leg, you just gently bring your hands behind your thigh or calf for a hamstring stretch and release. Lift, stretch, release. Good, let's do one more leg lift. Keep a hold of the left leg and start to flex and point through your foot. Circling the ankle and reversing those circles. Hugging your left knee in towards your chest and sliding your right leg long to the end of your mat. Taking your supine twist, bringing that knee across the body. As you open your left arm, maybe gazing towards your left hand. Close down the eyes and deepen the breath. On every exhale, feel a release even deeper into that stretch. Bring yourself back to the center when you're ready and hug both knees in towards your chest for a moment. Take a gentle rock side to side. Moving into your happy baby. Bending your knees, pressing your feet towards the ceiling, and you can wrap your fingers around your big toes, around the outside of your foot, or even just hold on to your shins. Press your back heavy into the floor. Gentle rock side to side if that feels good. And then bringing your feet to touch, lowering them down onto the mat and opening the knees out gently into a butterfly stretch. You can support your legs with cushions or your hands, or rest your hands on your low belly. Feel the warmth of your hands radiate down into your belly. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. In through the nose. Release through the mouth. Last breath in. And exhale, release. Gently use your hands to help your legs close back together. And you can windscreen wiper one last time. Bring yourself up to seated, however works for you, and find a comfortable seated position. Give the shoulders a nice big shrug up, down and back. And let's take 3 deep breaths to wrap up class. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And last big inhale. And release, hands coming to the legs, palms down. So I really hope you enjoyed this class and your body starts to recover and feel a little bit better each day. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Live Aligned Pilates. I upload new classes every week. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.